We saw the opportunity to develop technologies that complement our farming systems, and most of that was based on the fact that if we saw a gap in the marketplace, that we took the opportunity to fill that gap.
Historically, we've been a grain growing property, and I guess with the grain industry and the prices of late, it hasn't become real attractive. So mid-2005 we decided to get more production in the lines of stock, and to go from grain into a beef production program we needed to do something quickly. So we went down the lines of planting subtropicals. Well, you've only got to take a look around. These grasses have been growing this year, being 2013, they've grown all winter. We've actually taken on more stock through the winter through agistment to keep on top of our grasses. It's a great problem to have. It is a great problem to have.
As a result of the research that we've been doing, we now have developed a package to be able to reduce the risk of establishment failure. So important things like correct species for different soil types, sowing time, sowing depth, the importance of seed quality. So all these have helped reduce the risk of failure during establishment. As well as that sort of information, we've also now have a better understanding of the rooting depth and water use of these grasses, also their ability to respond to nitrogen. So all these bits of information have all come together to be able to assist producers, and this is an excellent example of the type of pasture that we're now finding around our district. It's excellent.
The information was readily available through the DPI, Future Farm CRC, and help from the CMA was all at our fingertips. That assisted in the establishment of these fantastic grass.
Heritage Seeds is ultimately a forage company, and we're very interested in becoming involved in any type of R&D that needs to be brought to the market. Heritage Seeds invest a lot of money in R&D ourselves, and whenever we can partner up with a government body to bring new products to market, we like to do that. Ultimately, we're about providing solutions to growers.
We had to do something to save our soil. And I thought with the information that I was reading about subtropicals, that was a way of adding biodiversity into our farm. It's true, look at it. I bet you can dig up there and pull that big roots if you can get it, and there'll be a worm under there. That wasn't happening. And you see there's no chemicals anymore. It's another plus.
Perennial grasses are of great interest to us. I think also given the climate change that we're experiencing, or the climate variability, it's important to take part in projects that address that through novel species, and obviously the perennial grasses do offer that.
The ability now to fatten stock, to run more stock, I guess it's just been incredible. We now have doubled our production here at home, and yeah, we're going on the great guns.
Well, the ADOPT tool is something we've developed right from the beginning of the CRC, aimed at allowing people to think about the factors that might influence adoption, not just the peak level of adoption, but how long it might take. So it's a simple-to-use software tool that involves 23 questions where people can characterise an innovation, in the case of the CRC, the perennial technologies that have been developed, and they characterise that in terms of the innovation itself and the target population, as well as the ability that farmers might have to learn quickly about how good this innovation might be, and also factors about how good it might actually be, the relative advantage. And it brings these things together to produce a forecast of what the likely picture might be in terms of how long something might take for widespread uptake by farmers. Well, a big objective of the CRC was to achieve impact, not just research, but to achieve impact with farmers. And by considering the whole range of factors that affect adoptability, you're able to target the development and the extension of these things in a much more informed way. And the second main principle was to try to make it very usable, so that people who may not normally consider some of the factors that drive adoption and peak adoption, that they've got an easy-to-use tool that can help them think about some of these factors, sometimes for the first time. The CRC took a brave step in initiating this project. There hasn't been a tool similar to this developed anywhere, and it's not an easy thing to do. We don't claim you can predict adoption very easily at all, or reliably all the time, but the CRC knew it was important to consider these factors, and that's what we've tried to do. So the CRC really did kick this off, and since then the demand has meant that other organisations such as the GRDC, ACR, and Pork Australia, a whole range of other industries are interested in developing it for their use.
Products like Tedera, which you'll be hearing about shortly, was an opportunity to hit a market with a brand new legume that we're going to domesticate for the Australian market.
We chose this plant because of its remarkable ability to withstand drought, and it provides highly nutritious feed during the summer and autumn months, which is normally a critical time when there's no green feed in the paddock.
Tedera has been taken from the wild in the Canary Islands. The potential role in the production system across southern Australia for sheep production at this stage is as a replacement for grain feeding in autumn. We have a Mediterranean type climate, which is 6 months of drought and 6 months of rain. The challenge for farmers is to get their sheep to the next green phase at minimum cost. If it can do that, then it will dramatically change the profitability of sheep production across southern Australia.
With the breeding program, we try to be as quick as possible. We try to do 2 generations per year. That was able to accelerate the breeding program. And we expect to have the first breeding materials ready for the seed industry in June 2014.
What we're seeing in the ground now is an example of what Tedera is going to be, but the commercial offering will be from what is developing in the glass houses at the moment. So, you know, one of the key components to varieties we commercialise are things that have a unique agronomic fit, and we're very keen to get involved and appreciate the opportunity to actually bring this new species to the market.
This is not just another lucerne. In drought condition, lucerne drops its leaves under stress and has less grazing value. We've seen that Tedera hangs onto its green leaf, much like a living haystack. We simply can't do that with any other perennial legume in this Mediterranean type environment at the moment. It's very, very exciting for us.
The way the sheep like it, it was mowing off and it's regenerated, has all been, probably quite exciting actually to see how it has come back and how it, grows, and it's certainly done pretty well, as I think anyway.
From the animal production side, it's important to cover off on duty of care, on animal health issues, and to date, with 3 grazing trials, we've had no issues at all with the health of the animals. They do show a preference for different forms of Tedera, and this trial is about whether the difference in preference translates into differences in animal production.
This CRC built its research around the concept of profitable perennials. That is, the right plant in the right place for the right purpose under the right management. It looked at developing farming systems based on perennials, but also developing new technology, new perennial technologies that would support and complement those farming systems. We also know through the 6 or 7 years now that we've been going that we have evidence that clearly shows that we are having an impact on the farm and also in the ground.